Hello, I am Gamer Vince, and this is another episode of a Let's Play Sins of a Solar Empire Rebellion. I'm going to be playing another game of Sins of a Solar Empire here, and just seeing how it goes. Like I said, I'm your host, Gamer Vince. I'm going to be playing the TEC this time around. That's why I switched the pictures here. And so I'll be using this picture. He kind of reminds me of a dwarf. I feel like dwarves are like my spirit animal. So that's what I'm going to go with. Very much like the last time I played, I'm going to be going with a medium random map. So I have no idea. Don't really have an advantage over the computer in already knowing what's available. Same kind of rules as before. 2 hard computers. Primarily because I think that I don't like to play with the max number of computers, max number of players. I like to have a little bit of room to expand into for everybody. I'm more of a late game player, so that's just what I enjoy playing. I'm going to be playing the TEC Rebels. That's what I'm going to be playing this time around, because I think the Rebels are pretty cool, and they can become buddies with the pirates. So that's a handy thing. Game options, I'm going to be staying at normal speed for everything. We're going to keep the pirates active this time, because despite the last time I didn't play with the pirates because I thought I could, I can kind of game the pirates to just attack my enemies. Well, the TEC Rebels get that as an ability anyway, so I'm not going to feel as bad about it this time. If I was playing the Vasari, who have all those other technologies, all those other advantages, and on top of that I'm gaming the pirates to attack my enemies, I feel like, that's a little bit too much. But the TEC Rebels become buddies with the pirates. They can literally ally with the pirate faction. So if I'm gaming this, I feel like the Rebels kind of get to do that anyway through technology. So if you were playing against people, you could you should be allies with the pirates anyway and should be able to game them. So I feel like, I'm not going to feel as bad about the pirates being active this time around. We're going to do a large fleet size because I like large battles. Victory options, I still like the flagship. I'm going to go with the flagship. I like having it at the beginning, and I kind of realized the computers probably don't use it at the beginning. That's something I didn't even think about, that the computers don't really use it at all. They just try to hide it. But that said, I feel like it is a way to end the game. Worst comes to worst, I can go try and hunt down the enemy flagship, and unlike occupation victory, capital victory, my enemies will actually try to defend it. So I'm going to turn that on this time. I'm going to keep that on. I kind of get used to it, and 2, it is sort of a worst case scenario one. If they have just amassed an empire that would take forever to destroy and they're just not surrendering, then I can try and hunt down their flagship maybe. And it could be an exciting chase. So who knows? That could end up well. Okay, so that's what we've got. We've got 2 computers. I'll be playing TEC Rebels. Hard mode. Teams are locked. Yep, teams are locked, so that's what we're going to go with. Alright, so we'll see how this goes. Like I said, I am very much a late game player. I sort of try to just build towards the late game. That's kind of what I do. And I normally play the Vasari. And I think the Vasari are really, really good late game because of a lot of really awesome technologies. With the Vasari Rebels that I was playing, being able to attack with starbase is pretty fantastic. And also being able to phase jump, create phase stabilizers on your different planets is also pretty fantastic. So it's just one of those things that I really like the Vasari late game. The TEC, on the other hand, I think are not as great late game, but they're better early game, I want to say. The reason for that is that the TEC are they're your economic race. They're the ones who are going to have the most income early on. And income is usually what I strive to be number 1 in right at the beginning. Economy is the primary concern to start with. So So I feel like that's not a bad thing. I feel like I can deal with the TEC. All right, let's see. Let's see what we got here. All right, so we're gonna orient this just like this. This is gonna be our orientation. Like I said in my previous video, it's kind of like having the sun here and like being in a corner over there. It helps me. It helps me orient. If I keep my planet usually in the same direction or the same side of the star every time, I kind of get, I always know where I'm at, and I can orient myself a little bit more easily than I might be able to otherwise. But let's see. So when I'm playing the TEC, my early strategy is actually pretty much the same, which is civilian industry. I try to get the nice thing about the TEC is you can get the trade ports almost instantly. I always build 2 civilian structures, 2 economic research structures, like right off the bat, so I can start researching orbital commerce here. I'm actually probably going to be researching. Yeah, I'm going to be researching this first, just because I don't really have a lot of planets to take advantage of commerce yet. I can't really build a whole lot of trade ports yet because I only have 1 planet, and I'm not prioritizing building the trade ports on that planet. I need the logistics slots for other things. Oh my gosh, you're just going all the way around there. No, go over there. Go find out what's there. Yeah, and this guy should go over there. That's much better. So we've got ourselves an asteroid over here. That's good, and a dwarf planet. So we should be able to take those pretty quickly and pretty easily. And we can probably work our way up to getting this. That's actually a pretty good ice planet with four crystal asteroids. That's pretty decent. Appreciate that. Another thing that I don't like about the TEC as much as I like about the Vasari, their scout ships can what do you call it? Not colonize, but they can claim extractors. Notice that there is a crystal extractor on this. Wait, there's a crystal extractor on this planet. Is that the pirates? Are the pirates mining on this? Well, in any case, if there are asteroids in places that you can't colonize, the Vasari scout ships can claim them. Just while they're sort of flying around, you can kind of keep a lookout to see if there's a whole lot of, asteroids that you're finding. And if you are finding a lot of asteroids, then great, you can actually claim them. You can claim them right away. While with the TEC, you have to get out of your way to build a Protev colony frigate. Is that the one? I believe so. Protev colony frigate. Yeah, that's the one. So if you want to say, like, on this gas giant over here, which I'm probably not going to worry about, it's a single crystal asteroid. It's not really worth it yet for me to go out of my way to build a Protev colony frigate just to colonize this one extractor. Oh yeah, of course. You need colonize. Colonize is what you need with the Akan battlecruisers. Yeah, I pretty much always go with instead of building like a colony ship, a dedicated small colony ship, I instead always build the capital ship that colonizes. That's pretty much just how I operate. The main reason for that is that when you jump from planet to planet, you're going to lose antimatter, which is required. You need antimatter to use the colonize ability. And you may have noticed that if you send a Protev colony frigate or those other colonizing ships to go colonize those planets, it takes them a long while. That's because they've lost the antimatter in the jump. The cap ships just have a lot more antimatter. They still lose antimatter unless you research a tech, but they still lose antimatter jumping to new planets. They just have a lot more. Yeah, you saw that go down by 100. But they just have a lot more antimatter to lose. Actually, we're not going to research that just yet. We're going to do crystals. But yeah, they just have a lot more antimatter to lose, so they actually colonize planets a lot faster. And in the early game, that's a really good thing, being able to colonize quickly. You kind of want to be able to just grab planets as quickly as possible. Let's see. I think I'm going to research. I think I am going to. I'm going to get jumping on a second cap ship here very quickly. Strategically, is there a really good reason for that? Probably not, but having a second cap ship is essential relatively soon, so might as well get a jump on it and not worry about it for a little bit. Getting more cap ships for a little bit. And because the TEC, it works out really nice that every Cobalt Light frigate only costs 5 fleet supply, so I could get this down to 50 exactly. If you're wondering why I chose to build only 4 Cobalt Light frigates, it's because I'm intending to build a coal battleship relatively soon. And you go ahead and colonize that. Fantastic. Things are looking well. So as long as I've got a couple of really easy planets to snag right away, I think we'll be in good shape. Alright, let's see. I'd like to know where my enemies are, so that I can start drawing sort of lines in the sand and being like, alright, this is mine, this is yours kind of thing. I'd like to know where I stand, where I'm going to stand in the long run. Just something that you kind of need to know. All right, so that's still researching. Great, good. Next, I am going to be researching the orbital commerce. If you're playing the TEC, take advantage of the fact that you can get trade ports really quickly. It's just a really nifty thing to get because they can give you a considerable amount of income. They actually start off kind of weak. If you're going to start, I highly recommend you sort of look into your credit and resource summaries. Oh, I'm an idiot. Oh, no, I'm researching that. For a second, I thought I didn't research civilian infrastructure. Yeah, I highly recommend looking at your credit and resource summaries to see what is actually getting you income. Because that'll let you know what you should maybe focus on, if not in the current game that you are playing, maybe in future games. It is good to know what is working and what isn't. I mean, it's kind of obvious, but sometimes we forget that just throwing everything at the wall isn't maybe the best way to play the game. You have a limited amount of resources. You got to figure out where to allocate them. Well, crud. So I found my first enemy. And we are really close. Now, it is actually really nice that we have a magnetic cloud here and a plasma storm right here, because neither one of us is going to colonize that. So I don't think they're going to feel terribly threatened by me for a little bit. So that's actually a good thing that we have like this empty space that neither one of us is going to colonize. So hopefully that'll drive them in this direction towards my other opponent, and that would be very handy. Yeah. Okay. So we're exploring around there. It's all good. Yeah, they have not colonized anywhere else yet. Yeah, I'm beginning to realize that I think maybe you always start with like a dwarf planet, an asteroid near your home. Like that's not random, because I see that that configuration very, very often. You notice that like this planet, it's right next to an asteroid and a dwarf planet. I'm beginning to think that's not an accident. You play this game enough, you kind of notice things like that. But in any case, we're not going to worry about any of that right now, because we're just going to expand. We're going to snag this planet and then start heading up this way. Grab this crystal planet, a couple of volcanic planets, and that'll give us a lot of resources, which is good. Which is very, very good. Oh, what I mean to... Oh, yeah, research that, please. Oh, and also, while, I'm spending all this time here talking, when I should be building a coal battleship. What I need to look up real fast is... How do I become friends with the pirates? I actually forgot. Isn't that one? Pirate mercenaries, throw in their lot with rebellion, allowing you to purchase military aid through broadcast center? No. Truce amongst rogues. That's the one. Join your empire and the remaining unaligned neutral worlds and the pirates to end squabbling, resulting in a peace treaty with these factions. So we're going to need 2 more civic research stations sort of as quickly as possible, and I'm going to research that, and we're never going to worry about the pirates again. It's a very handy thing to just be able to ignore unaligned, unaligned planets, unaligned forces. You just, kind of ignore them, and you can even leave them on your planets for protection, and that's actually not a bad idea. All right, always so much to do. And where's the crystal? Always missing. Never enough crystal. All right, we're gonna do that, and I gotta also keep my eye on the bounty. You can see that it's slowly ticking up. By the way, there a tip for bidding on pirates. So the computer players sort of instinctively pick a person to blame for the bounty on them. In a 3-player game, I'm pretty sure it's just like the Seraph Warriors are going to blame the Vascoris Archon, and they're going to blame me. So what's going to happen is that if I bid on them, they're going to be like, damn you guys, and then bid on them. And then when these guys get bid on, they're going to assume it was me and bid on me. If you're playing in a larger game and you don't want to get into a bidding war over the pirates, bid on somebody that is far, far away from you. That way, they're going to assume it was somebody near them, somebody that, would benefit from them being attacked by the pirates. And they're going to assume it wasn't you, which means that they're not going to bid on you. So that's a handy bit of information right there. They're just going to leave you alone, and you're not going to have to spend credits on a costly bidding war with your opponents. So that is a handy bit of information right there. All right, coal battleship. I use a very similar strategy with cap ships as I do with the Vasari. If you noticed in my last video, I use pretty much nothing but the Vasari battleships, or the Vasari version of the battleship. And I pretty much do the same with the TEC, because the battleships, they can dish out a lot of damage and they can take a lot of damage, so they can really be the backbone of your fleet. And they're good against normal ships, because they can deal a lot of damage to those. And with the upgrade of the flak burst, they can also be good against squadrons. They can destroy a lot of squadrons, just like the Vasari ships, battleships have ways to deal with squadrons. So that's why I like the coal battleship as well. Just because it can pretty much handle anything you could throw at it. I'm gonna give it a gauze railgun and have it shoot things down real fast. Alright, so we're currently researching that. And yes, I want another civic station. What I could do actually now is that because I'm building another civic research station, I could purposefully lose the bid against the pirates, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to have the technology that they're just going to be my friends, that I'll have that researched by the time the enemy pirate fleet gets here, and then I'll just have a pirate fleet sitting on one of my planets, which is a handy bit of protection, actually. And to be perfectly honest, I think they're going to head, if they're going to attack me, I'm pretty sure they're going to head for Eumelos, because the pirate base is going to be probably somewhere around here. In fact, this might be it right there. That might be the pirate base. So I may lose the bid on purpose just to have a couple of defenders. But then again, if these guys lose the bid, that would also be really nice, because, yeah, they would be slowed down. Though, to be perfectly honest, I think they're going to claim these planets right here, and then they're going to head in that direction over here. So maybe it's not really crucial. Either way, we'll see what happens, because, well, actually, the pirates are currently on me. I already know what's going to happen, is that, the pirates are going to go to me. I'm here arguing back and forth, and I could really just, let's bid on these guys. Just in case. Just to see what happens, because I'm going to be curious now to see who these guys bid on. They've bid, I think they bid on me. The tie is still broke. Oh, there we go. Yeah, they bid on me. Let's see. Let's see if the Sarek War. See, I hadn't even found the Vascoris Archon yet. Oop, there we go. Now, who are these guys going to bid on? Are they going to bid on the Archon guys? Are they going to? Oh, wait, am I facing two Vasaris? I am facing two Vasari players. That makes life a little bit difficult. Yeah, in fact, he did. Okay, so it was we pretty much have the exact scenario. Oh wait, no, I bid on those. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so they did. So essentially, what's happening is here the Sarek warriors are going to blame the Vascoris Archon for putting bounty on them, and the Vascoris Archon are going to blame me. So it's going to be. So they might actually bid on me here in a moment, but I'm actually not worried about either way. Yeah, see, they did, and I'm. Yeah, all right, might as well just a little bit. They blame me anyway. Oh, did the pirates launch? Yep, there are the pirates. Okay, so the green guy's going to be slowed down by pirates a little bit. Too bad for him. All right, we've got things to research. We've got other things to do. We've got a lot of things to do. Insufficient. I've got a lot of metal again. I honestly thought that it would be kind of the opposite, that we'll have a lot of crystal this time around instead of a lot of metal. But I guess that's not going to be really true until we really start taking advantage of these planets. And of course, oh, I need to go through this entire tech tree. I should have been researching this. That was kind of silly of me. See, here I was going like, I'm really glad I didn't get attacked by those pirates, because I forgot that I need to research all these technologies before the Truce Amongst Rogues. That would have been very silly. So I'm glad I didn't get attacked by the pirates. It's a good thing. All right, we've got a lot of research to do. Yeah, more metal. Metal is good. I like resources. Yeah, we're just gonna leave that for a second. Let that build up. Oh, actually, before we research that, I want volcanic exploration. That's a little bit more important right now because we're about to take a volcanic planet. Yeah, I know I mentioned this in my Vasari run through. I actually like the Vasari, the way the Vasari research resource collection way more than the TEC, because the Vasari just have one tree for resource collection that pretty much gets them to the same end result, which I think is like plus 40% resource collection. Actually, I think the Vasari one's better, but it's only one tree, while for the TEC it's two trees. You have to research the metal one and the crystal one. They're separate. So I think that's just not as good. I think the TEC, the Vasari one is better, and I thought always, I always feel like the TEC one should be the better one because they're kind of like the economic faction, and resource collection is really important for economics. So I don't know. Oh, I'm pretty sure that this is the pirate base. I'm gonna send my. What is that? What is that? Is that a skull? That's very interesting. I've never seen that before. The kind of green glowing things. Are you guys seeing this? Am I hallucinating? There's these green glowing things, and that looks to me like a skull. So that's very interesting. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Maybe just never noticed it, because you don't see it from this view. Is it on other? Alright, it's kind of like a nebula cloud there. There's nothing there. Like, I zoomed in as far, you can't tell, but I zoomed in as far as I can there. So that's very strange. I'm wondering if that essentially tells you that this is the pirate base. And it is indeed the pirate base, so I'm wondering if that little shimmering of green glowing dots kind of tells you where the pirate base is. That's very interesting. I never noticed that before. Every time I play this game, I learn something new. Yeah, you guys just fight it out. So pirates are going to be coming after me soon. Next bid, they're probably just going to come for me. You will notice that as the pirates attack, as if anybody attacks the Vascoris Archon, they're going to start collecting this bounty. So this bounty is just going to go down as they lose ships. And they have the enemies like to play with lots of little ships, unlike me, where I like to play with lots of big ships. So their bounty tends to go down relatively quickly as they lose all their little ships. So the next bid, they're both going to be relatively close to 0, and I'm going to be sitting at 1,000. So I'm probably just going to take the pirates no matter what. Actually, if I research this first, I'm pretty sure they can't even bid on me. The pirates aren't going to go after me, so I stand corrected. They're probably not going to go after me. All right, we've got a lot of research going. This is going pretty well. And we've got another planet. We're expanding very quickly. We're actually expanding at a rate that might be a little bit beyond our resource collection right now, but that's actually not that bad. Oh, and this has 4 asteroids as well, and this one has 2. This one's not that great. I might start casting a critical eye towards taking some of these oceanic planets. And in fact, they're actually kind of poorly defended. There's a single Kodiak heavy cruiser there and a bunch of siege frigates. This one's a little bit heavier defended, but to be perfectly honest, I'm not going to have to worry about that for much longer. I'm approaching my favorite research for the rebels here. So once I have that, I think then I'll go conquer that planet. Meanwhile, I'm just going to go take this one. Yep, one thing at a time. One thing at a time. All right, we're going to sell a couple of resources here and just get those metal extractors up and going. There we go. There we go. I'm actually producing a lot of metal right now. Actually, my crystal collection has gone up quite a bit. It's not as high as my metal yet, though, and that's before these metal extractors are built. So, yeah, it's always the crystal that lags behind. Oh, you know what? I researched the trade ports and I haven't built any. I should really begin jumping on that just to increase my credit income. So I'm really jump-starting the economy here. I'm pretty pleased with how this is going right now. I forget sometimes how easy it can be to play the rebels, the TEC Rebels. The loyalists are all about the Novolith cannon. They can get it really quickly, really fast, and it can be a very powerful weapon early on. But I really like the rebels just being able to become friends with the pirates. I think that's pretty cool. It's pretty nifty. I really enjoy what they've done with Rebellion in terms of like the abilities you can get and the kind of differences you have between the races, the loyalists, the rebels, and all that. So I do enjoy that, like the rebels here, the TEC Rebels, gain, can become friends with the pirates, and that they're all about, which kind of actually makes sense, They're the rebels, and if you notice that all the pirate ships, all the neutral factions are TEC. Krosov Siege Frigate, Garda Flak Frigate, all these ships, they are TEC. So I could build those if I wanted to. Yeah, I just realized that I turned the sound down a lot so that you could hear me better. I noticed kind of like in my other videos I was maybe competing a little bit for sound with the game. So I turned it down a whole lot, and I can't really hear it anymore. Dang it. I just researched the Ion Bolt because it's a really good ability, but I didn't mean to shoot one with it. The Ion Bolt, by the way, is a fantastic ability. It's really good. You basically disable a ship for quite a while. Actually, it only lasts 3 seconds, but it is so good at keeping enemies from fleeing. If you want to take out a priority target, it is fantastic for that because it just won't be able to flee. Great for taking out cap ships and the like. Very handy ability. And it's pretty much, I always research the Ion Bolt, but I never keep it on auto-fire. On auto-fire, it is almost completely wasted. I feel like most cap ship abilities can be used relatively effectively by the ship itself if you just keep it on auto-fire. I think most of the time, you're going to be fine doing that. It's not really going to, you're not really going to suffer too much for it. That said, though, there are a couple of where it is crucial that you learn to use them yourself. The ion cannon being one of them, because it is a complete waste if the ship is just firing it just to disable them for 3 seconds at non-critical points. Because 3 seconds, it's not really going to make a big difference in the fight. Fights take, quite often hundreds of seconds. So it's not really going to help you in a fight if you're just shooting randomly. But if, say, a ship is trying to jump away, or if you have a couple of them and you just want to disable one very specific ship for a very long time, like if you have several Akan battlecruisers, you could keep one ship under ion bolt firing for quite a time to just prevent it from participating. I mean, there's several things you could do. You could start taking out specific ships, like if they're trying to heal, they have a healing ship or something along those lines. You could try to disable that for a little bit, while you work on disabling it, work on destroying the rest of their fleet. So there's lots of strategic uses for it, but your ship doesn't know that. Your ship is just going to kind of shoot randomly, and just whenever the ability is up, whatever it's currently targeting, it's just going to shoot at. And that's a waste. It's a waste of antimatter. It's a waste of great ability. Don't do it. Learn to use it. It's a handy ability. Alright, so let's see. We're #1 in economy, in everything. That's what I was going for. We're not #1 in military ranking. We are #1 in capital ships. Again, to be perfectly honest, I shouldn't really trust these rankings. I've seen several times where these rankings were just plain wrong or just not what I thought they should be. So, yeah, don't trust them entirely, but they do mean a little bit of something. And if it does say that I'm #1 in economic ranking, I'm going to trust that a little bit. I mean, that doesn't mean I'm in, the best position in the world, but it does mean I'm in a pretty decent position. Okay, so it looks like that we have successfully become allies with the neutral forces, which means we don't even need to fight on these oceanic planets anymore. We're just friends with them, which is really handy. That is a good thing. One thing that I just need to start jumping on a little bit here is one, my trade ports, so that my income can start really going up, and two, I really need military research. I lag behind that. You may have noticed in my Vasari videos, I lag behind that quite a bit. With the TEC, I lag behind even more because the TEC, I just have so many fantastic little civilian research things to get that I quite often forget that. I should probably do rapid development. It's a decrease. Things build faster, and it makes them cheaper. So I should probably start researching that. We don't need that much metal for it. Yeah, we'll wait. We'll wait to get the rest of that. We'll wait. To be perfectly honest, I don't really need my entire fleet jumping to these planets to go take them. Don't really need them. And also, I think so. My enemy has got to be somewhere over here. So these are the guys that we're probably going to end up fighting. Simply because, All right, so I'm looking at these guys, and I know I said that I probably won't run into trouble with them because there's this open area right here that. Oh, that's a Ravastra skirmisher. I should be paying attention. Let's build a gauze platform just to make it not look like easy pickings. Oh, and there's a bunch of assailants here. I was probably under attack pretty much the entire time. I just wasn't paying attention, which is what I was trying to say is, alright, the Akan battlecruiser stay here. The rest of you can go defend. See, what I was trying to say is that I can't hear what my advisor, what the game is trying to tell me. I don't hear that because I turned the sound down just a click too far. I can kind of hear sometimes when they're talking, but most of the time I don't hear anything, which means that I've kind of grown accustomed to the game alerting me when things are going up, when things are going down, and yeah, I'm not being alerted right now. So, all right, where's the Akan battlecruiser in here? Because I want the Akan battlecruiser, not the flagship. Yeah, the Akan battlecruiser. Why aren't you? Never mind. I didn't research oceanic planets. What am I doing? What am I doing? Oceanic exploration. Yes, please. Please do that. I'd like this planet. And there's actually, those are actually pretty decent defenders for my planet. Now, I'm also buddies with the pirates now. I can actually go through the pirate base, which that would have been handy before they blew up my scouts. That would have been handy technology to have at the time. Yeah, notice that even though my bounty is at 1,000, it doesn't matter. The pirates you cannot even bid on me anymore. Which, to be perfectly honest, I find kind of odd. Because other players can still collect this bounty. This 1,000 on here, if either one of these guys start destroying my ships, they would actually collect this bounty slowly over time. But they can't even bid. They can't even bid for those purposes anymore. They can't bid to incentivize other players to come attack me. It's not a thing they're allowed to do. So I don't know. All right, we've got things to research. I like the hangar defense. Hangar defense is good, and hull reinforcement. Pretty much the same reason why as I did with the Vasari. I just like having using hit and run tactics, and doing that kind of thing. So I like my ships repairing relatively fast. Right, we need a trade port. Gonna sell a lot of metal, and all right, we've already got a trade port there. We need a trade port here. Running out of crystal. All right, I'll buy some crystal, sell some metal, and plop down another trade port. And over here as well as soon as we can. Yeah, once we get our trade network going up, I think we're making a lot of money here. And like I said, like if you want to actually look to see how much money they're making you. My planets are currently did I not research? No, I need to research that more. I think that's a little bit more important. Yeah, this civilian infrastructure is a little bit more important than a trade port. Because notice that my planets are actually giving me significantly more money than my trade ports. But it's all primarily my home planet. That is the primary thing. But these oceanic planets can actually give you quite a bit of money. All right, we're going to actually put those trade ports on hold so that we can start on this civilian infrastructure. I'm going to go snag that oceanic planet too. Actually, let's snag this volcanic planet because I think this is all the planets I need right here. That is what 4 down here, then those 5. Yeah, that's 9 planets. That's actually more than I need. For me, 8 planets is sort of not the bare minimum, but it is the bare minimum for me to succeed in the late game. So that I can put a couple of research stations on all of these to so I can have all my tech done, and I think that gives you a significant amount of income and I think it's just it is the amount of planets you need in order to be really successful. That is what I think. 8 planets is what I need, and 9 planets, that's just gravy. And this is a really good variety of planets too. We've got our crystal. We've got a good crystal producing world. Got a lot of good metal producing worlds. Well, okay, I guess these 2 volcanic planets are about as good as this one. But we've got a couple of oceanic planets too for good credit income. So it's a good variety. We're not really lacking a whole lot of things. We're not going to have we're always going to be running out of crystal, and that's just something I guess you kind of got to get used to in the games, that you're always going to be running out of crystal. But oh, there's the enemy. And I've sent defenders, so I'm not really worried. I'm wondering why they attack. I'm wondering why they chose to attack here. I'm not really sure, because they must have passed by this planet here, which is a lot closer to them, or they must have passed by some planets to get there that are closer to them. So why would they go out of their way to go attack this planet? I'm not really sure, but yeah, I'm not gonna worry about it. These guys don't really have anywhere to go. Once they get the wormhole technology, they can jump over here, but that still puts them in conflict with me. So yeah, we're gonna be fighting. I'm gonna fighting these orange guys, and unfortunately, I'm relatively certain that the green guys are going to be up here, and they're going to be led straight to these planets here. In fact, they're starting to explore them already. So that's also not really that great. So I'm going to be I might be fighting them both computers here. All right, they're telling me let's get it on, which that's fine. I feel like I'm okay with that right now, because I only need 1 colony ship to go expand, and we can start. Yeah, this planet makes sense. for them to attack. This planet, not so much. Or that doesn't really make sense to me, simply because there are planets that I own that are much closer than that. Wow, they're on a lot of my planets. I'm not really sure. So there's a destructor. I guess they're just probing my defenses here. That's not going to get them anywhere because I'm building a hangar defense here in a moment. Hopefully they're not going to deal too much damage to the planet. Let's see. Let's get a couple of military technologies going here. Not military defense. Yeah, gauze platform. Quick gauze capacitors. Make my turrets better. Yeah, he's deciding to turn around now that's being constructed. Yeah, their assault, as admirable as it is, isn't really going to help them. This planet will pretty much be able to defend itself with the platforms by themselves. I mean, just look at how much damage they're doing to it. It's not very much. While on the other hand, this thing has lost all shields and the hull is dropping precipitously. So they're not really this little bit that they brought isn't really going to do much for them. Unfortunately, see, if I was playing the Vasari, I would be able to link up my planets so that I could just, very easily jump between them with the phase stabilizers. Just build like a phase stabilizer network. But the TEC don't have that technology, which makes it a little bit more difficult. This oceanic planet has 3 crystal asteroids. That is good to know. That is good to know. We can always use crystal asteroids. Never have enough crystal. Alright, Akan Battlecruiser, you go fetch this oceanic planet, and then we're in pretty dang good shape in terms of planets, and now we just have to build buildings and do research and all that kind of thing. How are we doing fleet-wise? So apparently we're still okay in military ranking, but a lot of that has to do with our defenses, which, defenses aren't mobile, so gotta be careful with that to make sure that they're in the right place. Never get complacent. Yeah, we're just going to build... I know I'm going to get attacked here sooner or later by the orange guy. He's already started probing it a little bit just to see if he could get away with it, but which wasn't very successful for him. But he'll be back with much bigger numbers. So I need to anticipate that. I'm going to station my fleet here because that puts them 2 jumps away from pretty much the 2 most likely places that I think we're going to be attacked. Actually, why am I doing that? Stay here. Because then they're 2 jumps away. They're already at a location that could be attacked, and they're 2 jumps away from that. Yeah, like going through this area might be safer, but this is a heck of a lot quicker just to jump through Galanthus here. Yeah, that would have been a silly thing to do. Yes, I would be 2 jumps away, but I'm already 2 jumps away from one of the planets there, and I'm at the other one. So yeah, that just doesn't... We're going to be stationed here. We're going to be stationed here. Alright. I should start also working towards... There's a lot of things I should be working towards. Yeah, we're going to keep increasing that. I really need more military research stations. That is a thing I need. Alright, we need, more crystal. Crystal is essential. Yep. There we go. We're going to research that. That's pretty essential. I also want to research the favorite client discount because, as you may have noticed, I like to sell and trade goods a lot. So since I might as well get a better return for it, it's actually a decent extra. It's 8%. I think that bumps up to 15%. It's not bad. Good to have. Diplomacy, I'm not really going to worry about. I think in my previous video I sort of mentioned that if they like me more, they're less likely to attack me, but I'm going to have a quick look. So, yeah, I'm going to be pretty hated by both of them just because I'm a different race. There's not much I can do about them hating me. Yeah, you notice that... wait, is that my opinion of them or their opinion of me? Other opinions of this player. Oh, my guy hate these guys. These guys... So, actually, the orange guys don't hate me that much. What do they think of... Actually, they do hate this guy more. I'm kind of surprised. I thought the Vasari would like each other more than they would like me. But apparently that's not the case. So that actually might be worth researching. I might actually want to get a couple of diplomacy researchers, but we're not going to worry about that right now. I think they're more going for targets of opportunity anyway. Let's see. That's a navigator. Navigator, that's fine. Speaking of navigators, I'm actually going to rebuild my scout ships. They got blown up relatively soon. Scout frigate, yeah. We're gonna build 2 of those, and we're gonna go send. I just want to know exactly what's over here. And now that I don't need to worry about the pirates, I'm just gonna go send them on scouting missions, and I'm not gonna have to worry about them jumping through pirate bases, because they are our buddies. Yeah, get me military lab. We definitely need that. Most certainly need that, and another military lab. We've got a lot of catching up to do in that department. Excuse me. Alright. Yeah, actually, I'm realizing that this video is probably running a little bit long. So I'm actually going to save now, and I'm going to keep multiple saves going, because I've learned from previous experience, things can happen to saves. Bad things can happen. So I'm going to quickly save here. We're going to call this one TEC Rebels, not Rebex, Rebels. TEC Rebels. Yeah, I'm going to call it TEC Rebels 1. I'm going to save, and yeah, I'm going to call it a part here. I think this game is going extremely well. You kind of noticed as soon as I got, I snagged these planets extremely quickly without any fighting, and I've got a bunch of, neutral forces there defending these planets. So that's going really well, because I think this is actually relatively well defended. This planet maybe not as much, because these forces aren't very strong, but these planets for sure are a little bit better defended. And yeah, I feel like we're actually in pretty good position. We've got all the planets we need, and it's going to start. It's time to start going on a more offensive run. So I hope to see you guys next time. And thanks for watching.